Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Towel Boy, where we try to give you the cleanest takes in sports. This weekend, the NFL playoffs start, wild card weekend starting, and I'm really excited about these playoffs. I think there's no true like years before we knew Eagles were gonna win, Chiefs gonna win, those are the favorites. I feel like there's no favorite this year. I'll talk. I feel like every home seed in the wild card round could potentially lose, really, right? I could see that as a scenario where every single top seed loses. I wouldn't be like completely shocked if that happened, right? So that's exciting, seeing things like that happen where you don't really know what's going to happen. The kind of um, we're in a new era, right? No Lions, no Chiefs, no Ravens, right? The Bills are not as good of a team. So, like the usual AFC favorites aren't there. The Eagles aren't as much of a powerhouse. So, a little bit of a mix up this year. So, I'm going to give my picks, my bracket prediction of what happens in the NFL playoffs this uh, season, give my thoughts, and we'll see what happens. So, like, subscribe, let me know in the comments who you think is going to win the Super Bowl. And without further ado, let's get into it right here. So, we'll start in the AFC 4-5 matchup. I just don't think the Steelers are that good, right? So, on the defense, I have the Stroud of the Texans. I think they finished. Whoa, got a little word twisted there, but the defense finished number one in the NFL this season. Texans are just better than the Steelers. Steelers aren't going to win. I'm going with the Texans here. Then we'll just go each seed by seed. I think the way I like to do it. So we got the Panthers and the Rams. Panthers are probably the worst team in this playoffs. No shame to them. They got it. But NFC South, we all understand, probably the weakest division top to bottom as far as the top teams don't compete as the top teams in other divisions do. So Rams, we're gonna take that one. Man, this is a crazy one because you don't want to go against Josh Allen. We got the six-seeded Bills going to the three-seeded Jacksonville Jaguars. But the Jags are hot, man. They've been playing real, real good. Trevor Lawrence has finally figured it out. It seems like um, it's crazy because I talked about earlier, right? This is probably Josh Allen's best chance to win to go to the Super Bowl. If you're ever going to have a time, this is your chance. You don't have to go through uh, Burrow, Lamar, or Mahomes. So three of the quarterbacks who, in no particular order, are usually grouped up as some of the best players in the league, right? That Josh Allen kind of compares to. You don't have them in the AFC playoffs this year. But also, this is probably the worst team Josh Allen has had in the playoffs that I'm least confident in. It's going to be weird saying this, but I'm going to go. It might be a home upset for a three seed, which is crazy, but I'm going to go the Jacksonville Jaguars winning that game, defeating Josh Allen gets bounced in the first round. Let's see if his PR saved him. See if he's going to get slandered like people like Lamar or Herbert do, losing in the first round. That's a tough one. I'm excited for that matchup. That's going to be a really really fun game. Six versus the three on the other side in the NFC. We have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers offense, Brock Purdy's been playing outstanding. McCaffrey's fantastic. I with their injuries on the defensive end, especially, I don't think they have enough. The Eagles, while they can be frustrating at times, do have a fantastic roster. They have all the makings. I mean, they won Super Bowl uh, a year ago, right? So we're gonna go with the Eagles here winning the game. They're the home team. I don't think San Francisco, with those injuries, can go to Philadelphia and win that game. This one is tough. I'm feeling like picking some upsets. Chargers versus New England. Uh, New England real good, but do I fully trust them to win a game? I think Drake May is him. I think he's that dude. I'm not sure if their defense is quite there yet. Herbert's one of the best players in the league, right? So I expect him to go do his thing. Chargers defense is quietly one of the better defenses in the league, but can they protect Herbert? I'm going to say they can in this game, just enough. Herbert's going to get his big defining win. The Chargers are going to win. They're going to go on to play once again divisional rivals, the number one seed Broncos in the playoffs. They're going to upset the number two seed Drake May and the Patriots there. Two versus seven over in the NFC. This is another fun, maybe the biggest rivalry in all of football, right? Now, what is the QB situation in Green Bay going to look like, right? Jordan Love is expected to play, but is he going to be the same? Who knows? No Michael Parsons. Since that injury, the defense hasn't looked the same for the Packers. The Bears, I don't really think are true Super Bowl contenders. A year away from being Super Bowl contenders, in my opinion. Got to beef up that front seven. I think they have enough though to win this rivalry game. We had that thriller a couple weeks back. I'm gonna go once again with the Bears winning this game here. So that's the wild card rounds, right? We got the AFC. We got the two upsets, right? Two, I guess, lower by seed, right? Lower seeded Texans winning. Then we got the Jags winning at home, but then lower seeded Chargers winning as well. NFC, I went with the Rams, the Eagles, and the Bears. Divisional round, division, the divisional opponents, right? We got the Chargers taking on Denver. Um, the Broncos offense scares me as a Broncos fan. Broncos offense scares me to be true contenders. I think our offense has enough to win. It's really tough to go into Mile High, especially in January, February, whenever it is playing at that altitude. Um, and the Broncos have probably the best pass rush um, in the league. Chargers have a banged up offensive line to be, just put it nicely. I don't think they can protect Herbert enough. Broncos offense does enough. They win. Number one seed Broncos moving on. Road to the Super Bowl goes through Mile High in the AFC this year, in my opinion. Wow, this would be a fun one. The Jags scorching hot offense versus the Texans, uh, number one defense in the league, right? What happens? This is a tough one, but I'm gonna go. I think this defense is legit. I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans. Another upset going on the road. Two upset picks in a row. We got the Texans beating the Jags. This is a tough one, right? So we got the Houston Texans coming in. Jags. I really think that Stroud's got some magic left in him. I said that like he's old. I think he's got the magic in him still. Maybe he's not the whoa that rookie season. He might be one of the top three QBs in the league soon. I still think he's top 10. I think Nico Collins is there. Man, now that I'm talking, that lack of run game is scaring me. That lack of run game is scaring me. The Jags are the hot team. Do I want them to ride the hot hand with the Jacksonville Jaguars? Hmm. You know what? Mid video, I'm going to do a switch up. I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars going to win at home. Can the Texans win on the road? Yes. That run game scares me. And if the Jags can be, Jags run game is scary too. So, man, maybe I talk myself out of talking myself out of it. Kind of overthinking here while I go. Um, man. I didn't come prepared for my brain to be switching up like this. You know what? I'm gonna go with my first gut reaction. I'm gonna switch it back to. If you're listening on Spotify, I'm sorry. Watching on YouTube is a little bit easier, but I'm gonna stick with my original gut. Texans. Basically, what it comes down to is who's gonna win in the running offensive attack. Uh, in this game, I think my gut's first instinct was to say Texans. I'm gonna roll with it. Texans winning this game. As you can see, probably not super confident in this pick, but we're going Texans. We got a rematch from a couple weeks ago. The top two defenses in the AFC right there. Um, so yeah, we got the Broncos and the Texans moving out into the AFC Championship. Let's go to the NFC side here. Hopefully, I can be a little bit more decisive in my picks, explain my reasoning a little bit better, seem more confident for you guys. But you know what? That's why I like doing this. Some of these things I like to put a lot of thought and effort going into it. Usually, when I do my brackets, if you watch my college football or listen to my college football playoff episode, I just picked the bracket based off how I was feeling in that moment without really thinking, hadn't put too much thought into it. Because I think that's fun, right? Things change, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's a bracket. You're having fun making predictions. So you saw with my last pick, man, I don't know who to pick. Texans, Jags, whatever. In the moment, who am I feeling, right? If you ask me tomorrow, could change, but like for the most part, this is what I'm seeing right in front of my face right now. So that being said, to me, the Rams are the favorite out of the NFC for me. They lost that overtime thriller a couple weeks ago with against the Seahawks. Going to be hard to go to Seattle on the road. Always is, especially in the playoffs. But the Rams, I think, to me, are the best team in the NFC. Obviously, they're not the number one seed, but they're just the most well-rounded team, in my opinion. I'm going to go with the LA Rams winning that game. And then this one's not going to be much of a contest for me. Like I said, the Bears aren't quite there yet to be Super Bowl contenders. Truly, they're inexperienced and lack of a front seven, especially that front seven. Saquon's going to eat, I think, in that game. He hasn't shown it as much as he did last year, obviously, this year, but Saquon's going to win that battle against the Bears front seven. Going to go with the Eagles versus the Rams. AFC, man, this is a tough one. The AFC is so hard to pick because they're all seven of these teams, minus the Steelers, honestly. And the Chargers. So about five of the seven teams, I could really make an argument in my brain for why they can win the Super Bowl. And I mean that truly. I really think I could see, even though I had them losing in the first round, I could see a path for the Patriots to the Super Bowl. I can see a path for the Bills with Josh Allen to the Super Bowl. Um, I can see a path for the Hot Jags to the Super Bowl, right? Texans, obviously, I have here. Broncos, I have here. I'm a Broncos fan. I watched every game. I'm not gonna hide that. I'm not gonna try to deny bias. I don't think I'm being too biased if I'm picking them. They are the one seed. Um, these are the two best defenses in the AFC, maybe the NFL. Um, the Broncos already beat the Texans. Defense is about even. Offense is about even. What I want to come down to when I'm making this bracket is I think it's going to be really tough to go to Mile High at altitude and win a game, especially with a run game that shouldn't keep the Denver defense super honest. Not that Denver has a crazy rushing attack either. J.K. Dobbins might be back by this game, so if Dobbins is back, I'm going to go Broncos. Road to the Super Bowl goes to Mile High this year. Maybe bias, maybe some homer there, but call it what you want. But hey, going Broncos to the Super Bowl representing the AFC. NFC, Eagles are going to be tough. This is AFC. I said I can see so many scenarios. NFC, every time I thought to my brain or I've done this, these are the two teams I see meeting in the NFC Championship. My MVP this season, I'll make an awards video later on, but my MVP this season, I have Matthew Stafford. I think he's been the best player in football, or at least the best quarterback in football. It's kind of a quarterback driven award. But Matthew Stafford, Puka Nakua, um, it's it's that's what I expect to be in this game to be the best team. We're gonna go with the Rams here. Super Bowl, we got the Broncos versus the Rams. As much as I would love to see a Super Bowl, I just think the best offense, the best coach team, and the best quarterback in the league this year, Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, the Rams. Uh, I'm going with the LA Rams as my Super Bowl winner, right? So they're gonna come out. Stafford's gonna get another ring, solidify his Hall of Fame career. I think. Save my picks here. And there it is. You guys have it. Um, this is fun to do. It's kind of off the top of my head. You guys kind of see my wheels spinning. Maybe later I'll do a more in-depth video talking about the matchups and seeing what I truly expect to watch for in each matchup. But this was more of like that gut emotional reaction, no true thinking about it, right? So that was fun for me to do. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my mumbling, hearing my gibberish. Please comment below or let me know who you guys think is going to win the Super Bowl, who's going to win these matchups, what games you're most looking forward to. Until next time, have a good one.